Jennifer.
Hello, everyone.
No, Lucia. You should.
All right.
Make sure you tell them how to pin your screen so that they can see better.
Oh, okay. I need to pin my screen.
No. You can tell them to pin your screen
Mm-hmm.
because some of them may not be familiar with Google.
Yes, so let me just show everyone really quick. If you're not familiar with Google Meets, I'll just share my screen very quickly. And so, what you can do if you are not familiar with Google Meets is to make the presentation bigger and you can see it more clearly. If you hover over any of the boxes, you'll get a few options. So you can see well, I think my screen is still presenting. Okay, now we're good. So if you hover over a screen, you can see you have three options usually here. And if you push the pin, that will make that person become the large screen and and you will become a smaller screen. And so for presentation purposes, if you need to see the words a little bit clearer, sometimes it's easier to pin the presentation or the speaker. So, all right. Um, so I think we are going to get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first meeting with the Riyi Meditation Center. So I welcome everyone. I know that I've seen some of you in our chat just saying hello and speaking about some things. And so it's nice to meet you. Jen, thank you so much for the wonderful lesson that you put together. I was able to watch that, and so your discussion questions became a very big section of this meeting. So thank you very much for all of your hard work that you put into that. And so, well, my name is Quentin. I think that we will first just get to know each other, anyways. And so, my name is Quentin Gooch.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh,
Maybe you should stop presenting.
oh, all right. I can do that. Okay. I forgot that I was even sharing my screen. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. So we're better now, I think. All good? I think we should be. Okay. So I guess we'll just start with introductions from everyone. So I'll go ahead and get started. So my name, as I was saying, is Quentin Gooch. I met Luke a little over a year ago through working with My Culture Connect. So I am an English as a second language teacher. And so I've continued my relationship with Luke through MCC. And now I've got this wonderful invitation to join this group with all of you. I currently live in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, but I am originally from the United States in the Midwest, so from Kansas City, Missouri. So if you've been to the U.S. or to the center of the country, that's where I'm from. And so, lastly, what has brought me here or influenced me to want to walk this path or learn more about Buddhist philosophies? As a Westerner, I've grown up in different religious faiths, and I never just quite identified with any of them. And as I got older and started reading more and started seeing more, I got interested in this in Buddhism and in the and walking a path of Buddhism and furthermore just through just research and learning the benefits of meditation, which is of course it's one of the things that we focus on in Buddhism a lot is meditation and in our minds and just learning some of the positive benefits that it has also influenced me. So that's about me. So whoever would like to go next is The floor is
Jane?
yours. The floor is yours.
Jane, could you go next?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Jen, Jennifer Duerden. So I'm from the UK originally, but I've been living in Germany for 11 years, in the north of Germany. Yeah, I met Luke, I think, was it around March this year, a few months ago. So basically, I think a few of you know I left my job as an engineer last year because I was quite unhappy and I wanted to do something different and something where I could really help people more and connect with people a bit more. So that's why I decided to get into teaching. So a bit like you, Quentin. And that's why I first approached Luke. And yeah, I did a little bit of teaching over the summer. And what brought me here? Well, many, many interesting discussions with Luke, teaching me a little bit about Buddhist philosophy. And I think it's something that really clicked with me. So it's really, let's say, a way of thinking, a mentality that I think could be really beneficial to me and also beneficial to a lot of other people. I really like the philosophy behind it. So looking forward to learning more together.
Thank you. Okay, so Vincent, another guy in Germany.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Vincent. I'm from Taiwan, but now I'm staying in Germany. What next? Where am I from? Yes, I'm from Taiwan, and I met Luke because of Jenny, who is the girl who is sitting beside Luke. Yeah. Hi, Jenny. And yeah, the reason I'm interested in Buddhism is to me. Oh, okay. I'm doing brain research in Germany, in Leipzig. So for me, science is like a very scientific way to study the outer world, but Buddhism or meditation is a way to study or to analyze the inner world. So for me, these two branches are very interesting to me. That's the reason I want to learn more about Buddhism. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's it. Thanks.
All right, and
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Jenny, and I am Luke's little sister, as he would like to introduce me. Okay, so I'm from Taiwan, and I'm currently living in Taiwan. And the reason why I'm here is that my dad forced me to come. No, I'm just kidding. I have been practicing Buddhism for a few years, and I really think that the ideas that I've learned from Buddhism can really help me live a happier and easier life. And I also am very interested in sharing those wonderful ideas with people from around the world. Yeah, so that's the reason why I would like to learn how to read Buddhism in English and maybe how to share those thoughts with others. Yes, thank you.
all right, Claire.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name's Claire, and I'm from Taiwan. And I currently live in the south of Taiwan. And the reason that I am here is because of Luke. And another reason is that on a previous ago, I taught in elementary school, which is focused on Buddhism. And during that time that I get close to the meditation courses, so it forced me to think about, is it important for us to have like meditation? So that's another reason that I'll be here. Thank you.
Where did you teach? What's the school you referred to?
I taught in Nantou. It was called Putai Elementary School.
Oh, Putai. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And Lucien, Lucien.
Hello, my name is Lucian, and I am from Taiwan, and I live in Taiwan now. And I am a Buddhist since a period of time. So I think the Buddhism can help me a lot, make me a happier person, a better person. Even sometimes I am bad still, but it still help me. And then I know Luke, so we go to Nantou, go to the mountain every month. So it's a happy experience. And so I think the Buddhism it let me know the truth, know the fact about my life, and help me end suffering. So sometimes I want to help others to know it as well. So that's why I continually learn Buddhism, and including today, I am here to learn with all of you. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Lucien hopes to share Buddhist thoughts in French. Quentin, if you someday go to France, if make friends there, please introduce your French friends to Lucien so he can practice French more. Now he practice every Sunday. Yeah. Okay. So Cindy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cindy. I'm from Taiwan, and I live in Taichung City. But I was born in Nantou, where is the location of the Ruyi Meditation Center. And why I want to study Buddhism. I'm from a Buddhism family, so I'm a vegetarian from my childhood, and I want to reduce my suffering, my stress, and my worries. So when I met Luke, I want to study more. So I'm here. Okay, I want to study more with everyone. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And Anne, Shanyan.
Hi everyone. My name is Anne, and I come from Taiwan, and I live in Taichung. And I don't know why I'm here, because Cindy brought me in this meeting, so I'm so confused. Yeah.
No worries, you can observe.
Like,
Okay. Yeah, welcome to join us. If you find it interesting, you can always join us next time.
okay.
Okay, Peggy.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Peggy, and I'm from Taiwan. I currently living in Kaohsiung City, and the reason why I'm here, actually, after reading the books, I'm not really familiar with Buddhism and Buddhist philosophies, I think. And I hope I can make discussion with all of you here. And as a college student, crazy about my busy schedule. I hope in this class I can learn a lot of positive thoughts. Maybe. Okay, thank you.
哎，谢老师要不要 ？Okay. All right. Back to you, Quentin. You are muted.
All right. Are you able to hear me now? Okay, great. I've been having some weird audio listening things going on, so I apologize for that. Okay, so it's so wonderful that we've all been brought here, and for whatever reason, whether we may not know exactly why we are here or we have very specific reasons, I think just having a community of people that we can have discussions with, I think is always a good thing. So welcome everyone again, and let's get started. So today, for our first meeting, we were all tasked with reading the first chapter of the In Buddha's Words anthology. And so one of, even before we get into chapter 1 during the introduction, one of the most important principles that he speaks about is this principle of Yoniso Manasikara, which basically means, and which we can translate from into careful attention. And so this was one of the first things that was brought up in the book, and is very important. I think as we begin to talk a little bit more about old age, illness, and dying, this is something that we should also keep in mind. So the Buddha, and I'll make this a little bigger, the Buddha asks us to stop drifting thoughtlessly through our lives and instead to pay careful attention to simple truths that are everywhere available to us, clamoring for sustained consideration they deserve. And so basically, my interpretation and sort of what I took from these words and from what the Buddha was asking us to do here is to really be aware. A lot of times as we go through our daily lives, I don't know if any of you have had this experience, but especially if you drive, there are some times where you're driving to work or you're driving to a destination and you arrive and you can't even remember like going through the different stoplights, making the different turns. You're just all of a sudden, oh, I'm here and I don't even know where I was. And not only could this be dangerous potentially, but I think we've all experienced this. And I know this is a very trivial way of thinking about what Buddha is saying here, but many times we are just kind of going through life and not really paying careful attention to the simple truths that are all around us. And I think a lot of our suffering that we endure sometimes is caused by the fact that we don't pay attention to some of the simple truths that we have. What does anyone else think about this and about kind of what their interpretation or what their thoughts on this passage are? I can also, there we go, make it a little bit bigger for us.
Jen, your thoughts?
I think you said it quite well, Quentin, with the talking about driving. Yeah, it's something that happens to me a lot, actually. So you're kind of doing actually simple things and not even concentrating on those simple things. So I think it's so hard for us sometimes to think about these daily things we're doing and being in the moment. We're definitely not paying attention maybe to more important things and some truths that we should think about. So I have the same interpretation as you, and I think we will see later in the book why it's so important to maybe be a bit more conscious of certain things rather than just drifting through life. Yeah, I think the car simile is very appropriate in this case.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. Anyone else? Now I know that this is this piece of this was in English, and there are some words here that maybe are less familiar to those who don't speak as much English or who are working on their English. So some of the things like to stop drifting through life, just kind of moving through life without really purpose or direction. We're just drifting through life. That's kind of part of this passage. And then clamoring for sustained consideration. So when clamoring is kind of like seeking or wanting or really desiring something. So these are kind of some of the two of the words that I think may be more difficult in the English translation. Does anyone else have some thoughts about this? Does anyone else experience this, where you feel like you're just drifting through life, but not really paying attention to the simple things that are everywhere around us?
Yes, I can talk about something. Sometimes we don't. I think it's very good. This word, this idea, care for attention, because sometimes we don't pay attention for the things we do now. We often think about the things in the future. We worry about it. What will come? What is coming? And we think about the thing past, and we do something bad, and we cannot change it anymore. So, but the past is past, and the future not coming. Something we worry about, maybe it won't come after all. But usually something we don't think about it come. So it's another idea. But I think it's good that we pay attention now for simple truth, simple fact we do now. And if we don't worry about things, we will do things better than we always worry about the future. So that's why I think the idea, yeah. And actually, if we want look more, we want look deeper truths. It's still the same way, but because the suffering and the truth is not anywhere. It's just in our body, just around us. So if we learn more about this book, maybe we will see the truth is not in some place long away, just now and here. Yeah. So that's my thoughts. Yeah. Thank you.
What a great thought. What a great way that you put that, Lucian, because the passage, if you read it just kind of without adding anything, it doesn't speak a lot about the timing of where these simple truths are. But I think that the simple truths that it is referencing are the ones that are here and in the now. And a lot of our suffering that we have is because we're living either in the future about things that we don't have control over, or we're living in the past about things we can no longer change. But if we are looking at the simple truths that are here right now and everywhere around us, I think that can help ease a lot of our suffering. Yeah. Anyone else?
I think that not paying attention to what I'm doing at the moment is also something that happens a lot to me, and it also bothers me a lot. So, for example, when I am eating or when I'm talking to someone else, I think in my mind I might be thinking about something else. I might be thinking about what I'm going to do next, about my work, or yeah, I will be thinking a lot about my future plans and something that I might have done wrong in the past. Yes, that is my own experience.
Mhm. All right. Well, good. Well, if no one else has a comment about this particular piece, let's keep this sort of in mind. Of course, we'll keep this in mind as we continue to move through the presentation. So now I want to talk and discuss a little bit more about lesson one. And lesson one was prepared by Jen, and and I hope that everyone had an opportunity to watch the lesson one video, and so that they can be a little more prepared for these discussion questions. But you know, the video is about a very difficult topic for many people to discuss, and that is, of course, old age, illness, and dying. And the fact that no one can avoid these things. We all will eventually become old and become ill and pass on. And so, the Buddha and in lesson one and in these first chapters definitely had some things to say and some thoughts about illness and old age and dying. And so I guess we'll start with the first discussion question, which could be a little revealing. But do you fear aging and dying? And I suppose I can start us off here with this one. So, do I fear aging and dying? The aging, not so much. I have not really, even as I've gotten older, I still have not feared aging. It's not been something that I've been ashamed of growing older, or or telling people that I am, a certain age or whatever. And so I don't fear aging. The dying, though, is something that I have long feared, and has definitely been a fear of mine. And I think as I've gotten older, that fear has maybe increased a little bit. But I'll tell you, and I'm not sure who gets the responses, but I answered the little discussion question on the quiz that was offered by Jen. And one of the things I brought up was that from a Western perspective, and for those who follow Christianity or some other Western style religions, you kind of have these two options after death. Either you were a good person and you go to heaven, or you did bad things and you go to hell. And this is forever. You are eternally going to be in one of these two places. And so the thought of that is very scary because, well, to me at least, the thought of that is very scary. I mean, of course, if we go to this good place, okay, we're all good. But this other place that you could go and it's eternity, there's no calling it back. You're just there forever. Made it a little bit scary. But I'll tell you, reading more in Buddhism and reading more about the Buddhist philosophies has started to make me a little less scared or a little less fearful of dying, just because I feel as though, and this might be the wrong interpretation. I would be happy since I'm so new to this, but I kind of feel like I can do the best I can in this life and try to create as much positive and wholesome karma as I can in this life. And if I don't quite get there in this life, then I can, I'll come back around and have another chance to kind of, to do better next time and to keep striving for Nibbana. And that somehow brings me comfort to know that I can do the best that I can in this life and then continue my process in the next. How does everyone else feel?
I'm actually very afraid of aging because I think when people grow old, they are more likely to suffer from poor health, and also they will suffer from the changes in their appearance. Yes, and take my grandmother for example. I think she didn't really had a good time in her old age. She would often complained about not feeling well, or the fact that she had lost her husband. Yes, and I think all the things that she had to go through, and all the things that eventually we'll all have to go through, is really terrifying to me. Yes.
And for me, I afraid the two things, aging and the dying. Because aging, I think if I older, I looks different. I have a white hair, and my body is not strong or move very slowly, so I afraid aging. And dying is it's difficult to say if I am afraid or not, but if I think I will die tomorrow, so it is very terrible things, because something I haven't finished, and if I die tomorrow, because my parents they are alive, so they must be very sad. So I think it's a very terrible things if I think tomorrow I will die. So definitely, if I think this, I'm afraid of dying. Yes. So that's my answer. Yeah. Okay.
They're muted.
Question will be, why do you think it is an important truth for us to think about? So I know that this is often the last thing that people want to think about, is getting old and dying. It's not usually the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning. But why do we think that it is important to think about this and to keep these things in mind?
Hi. Yeah. So I think my answer to the first question is similar to others, and the answer for the second question, why is it important to think about this important fact, is it keeps reminding us to think that we don't have enough time to waste. So then the next question is, what is meaningful, or what should we do for, what's the meaning of life? Yeah, I think that's the reason why it's important to think about. Yes.
Yeah, I think it definitely keeps us all thinking. If we keep in mind, since of course none of us know the time, when we will die or when our health may fail. I think like Vincent and also like Lucian said as well, there are some things that we haven't gotten done that we may want to do, and then also just knowing that on a daily basis we should be working to live the best life and the most wholesome lives that we can live on a daily basis, since there is no guarantee. And so making sure that we continue to live our most wholesome lives on a daily basis, I think is probably a very important reason why we should keep this in mind. Okay, and lastly, when speaking about aging and death, why do you think the Buddha used examples of rich and powerful people and monks? So if we read this passage directly out of the book, the Buddha references and uses examples of not just people who were at a lower caste or people who weren't wealthy or poor. He used examples of rich, powerful people, even people who were held in high regard within the religious community, like monks. Why do you think he used examples of these people when speaking about old age and dying?
I guess it's because people would normally think that rich and powerful people, they somehow are more able to escape suffering, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, just and some idea after Jenny, following Jenny. So we all know we are going to die or get older, and there can be two approaches to in face of this problem. One is to earn money, and to spend your money on to slow down your aging, or to make your face look better, or to spend money on the sensation pleasure, to really to live in the moment. I think by sensation pleasures. Yeah, that's one way. Or you can take the other ways to focus on the mental improvement. So I think that's the reason the Buddha took these two approaches, for example, and showing us if we took the first approach is not going to work, and the second approach you only suffer once that the body decaying. Yeah, so I think that's one that can be, that's my understanding. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Vincent.
And about monk, I maybe it comes me one thing. In era like in China, from ancient age to now, some people want to live forever with this body, just with this body, and so they don't let go, and they do something to achieve this goal. Sometimes even sometimes they eat a medicine they make medicine and eat it, but sometimes the medicine is made of heavy metal, so they couldn't live longer and they live shorter because the heavy metal. So if we want to just this body, we want to live long. It's not a good way to suffer, to end the suffering and to know the truth. So I think a monk, even an arahant, just like the book say, the arahant is a person who know the truth and end the suffering, and even so his body decay. So we can know that it is not a good intention if we want live forever in this body that will make us suffering more, suffer more. We cannot just let go. So that's that's it comes to me. Just like the first emperor of China long time ago, maybe 2005 years old. Yeah, a very famous emperor. Yeah, he wants live forever. He took some medicine and he send army to seek the God. Yeah, for the medicine. This is it. Thank you.
Yeah. Good thoughts, everyone, on that subject. And I think you're right. Everyone had such good points here about why we would think about the rich and powerful and monks. And I think it just kind of, I think that illness and old age and death, it's one thing that if we, I guess, kind of think about life, it's one of the things that puts us all on an even plane. No matter who you are, how much money you have, or even as the Buddha mentions with monks and arahants, even their bodies will decay and die, but it's just their bodies. It's not really theirs anyways, and so I found that to be, I know it's not a question here, but I found that to be a very fascinating point of lesson 1 as well, as just the difference in language that the Buddha used when describing death and illness for someone like us versus an arahant. So anyway, all right. Let's keep moving. So this week, and I think, and not only this week, and I don't know if this is something that everyone will like. It's something that I thought could be interesting, but I think since we're all in this community now and thinking about Buddhism and Buddhist philosophies, I think it's something cool to try to apply some of the things that we're reading about and some of the things that we're talking about and try to apply those to current events and things that are happening now and try to look at those through the lens of Buddhism or through the philosophy of Buddhism and how those are. And so the next section will be just about some current events. And I've just listed 3 current events here. And people who want to talk about one or the other, we don't have to talk about all 3. We could get into a very deep conversation about one or another. But these are just some potential topics that I thought that are very current in our world right now. And so the 3 that I have listed here are the escalation or tensions between Taiwan and China, immigration policies around the world. This is something that I know in the United States is a very big topic, but not even just the United States. You hear about this in different European countries, there being an immigration crisis. And so it's not just a problem in America, it's a worldwide problem that people discuss, or an issue that people discuss. And the last one is about just the rise of nationalism and hate groups. I know that over the last couple of years, definitely, I think around the world, we have seen a rise in this us versus them, or we're better than them mentality, I think has been increasing in our world lately. And so these are just 3 different topics or current events that we can talk about and kind of just try to connect some of our Buddhist philosophies that we're beginning to learn into how we view or look at these situations. So, yeah, go ahead. I think Luke, you were about to say something.
Jen, since you will go out soon, do you want to go first?
Sure. I can maybe talk a little bit about nationalism and immigration, since I'm English, and I guess everyone knows about Brexit. So the UK voted to leave Europe. Very controversial decision, and there are many reasons behind it, but I would say in part, a lot of it does come from this kind of nationalist viewpoint, that we don't need Europe and we're the best, and it also comes down to immigration. So one of the big things that were sold to people as part of the Brexit package before people in England voted whether to leave or not was that we would be better able to control immigration. Because in Europe, we have free movement of people between countries. So you can go and live anywhere in Europe and you will live under the same conditions. So that's one of the principles of the EU. And I think a lot of people in UK over the past years, we've had a lot of problems like everywhere with the economy, different things happening. And I think it's very easy to blame other people for these things going on. And a big thing with Brexit was that this is probably must be caused by foreigners, because, English people are all perfect, and, it must be these terrible foreigners coming and taking everything from us. And it's a lot of people have this mentality. And I think it's quite topical at the moment, because last month I was in England for the first time in a year because of the pandemic. And I don't know if anyone read the article I wrote on shortages, but it was really shocking to me. So it was nearly impossible to buy petrol. So huge queues at petrol stations, people actually physically fighting each other at petrol stations, shortages of certain foods and items. They're now saying we should rush to buy Christmas presents because we will have a shortage of toys and everything like that. And to be honest, for me, it was completely shocking to see the country like this. Like this level of kind of desperation and, competition between people. And it was really crazy. And I think what's interesting is that Brexit was supposed to be the solution to all of our problems. And actually, in shutting out all of these terrible foreigners, everything has got a lot worse. So that's, of course, the great irony of the situation. And it's as I wrote in my article, in the end, you just see how much people think about themselves. Is no sense of community, helping other people, but also I think no sense of how we are connected to the rest of the world, how we're connected as a society. So it's now very much this very narrow mentality there of, yeah, if we just do things by ourselves, surely all these problems will go away. And in fact, it's completely the opposite. And I think things are just going to get worse and worse and worse in that country. And we're becoming more disconnected from everybody. And yeah, maybe Luke, you could say something about this from a Buddhist perspective, because it's just fascinating to me, really, what's going on in England and where we're going to go with this. And as I said in my article, I mean, for me, people don't think about the consequences of what they're doing. So everybody's going out to get petrol they don't need, filling up the car even though they don't need to go anywhere, because, you know, I have to get this petrol before my neighbor gets it, before this guy gets it. And I started to think of it in this perspective, like, okay, what happens when you need to go to the hospital and the ambulance doesn't come, which is what started to happen because the ambulance doesn't have any petrol. So again, it's this lack of thinking about the effect of what you're doing on other people. So how would you feel maybe if someone in your family doesn't get the treatment they need because they haven't gone to hospital, because the ambulance can't get there or the helicopter can't take them there? And I think it's difficult for a lot of people to have this perspective. They don't see themselves as part of the problem. Yeah, that's my thoughts on this topic.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I think that just reminds me, your article just reminded me so much of the beginning of the pandemic in the United States, and just how there were shortages of all of the like most common household items, you know, toilet paper, things of that nature. And it's just because people hoarded more than they needed. There would have been enough for everybody. But because I went and bought 36 packs of toilet paper that will last me for the next 6 months, now someone else doesn't have any because I was so, I was so fearful that I wouldn't have anything. I needed to grab it all up. And so I think, yeah, it is interesting, Luke. I would love to hear kind of how we see this, because we had a conversation just real quick, a little bit in a meditation group, just about the human nature. And humans, even though we do have a higher mental capacity and our brains are different than other animals, and we have this kind of ability to have these more complex thoughts, there's still a part of our animalistic, I guess, nature, and a part of our brains that are still wired for this need to protect territory, to protect resources. And so we talked a lot about kind of where does that end, and where does our mental capacity to overcome those maybe, which I guess could be natural feelings of needing to protect territory and resources, but we are no longer in a hunter-gatherer state. We, for the most part, in a lot of places, have enough resources to provide for all the people, not just ourselves. So maybe that's something that we could begin to think about.
And about the escalation of the Taiwan-China conflict, because I live here, sometimes I think I read too much news in internet. There happen is a current about this, how to forge a relationship with news. And to me, usually I read the news in internet every day, and then I get angry, and it seems that I argue with someone just in my mind. There is someone in my mind, and I argue with him. So, but I aware that it makes too much trouble, and too angry, because everyone has its view about politics. Even my father, and me, we have different views about the relationship between Taiwan and China. But we still a family. But sometimes if we read too much news, we all get angry. So, but I think it is not so important for me, because it's not my daily life. I am not a journalist. I am not a member of parliament. So why should I read so much news? So now I try to read less and less. But sometimes it's difficult, but because like in the morning, I can't get up from the bed, so I read my phone. So I read the news, and I get angry, so I get up. so sometimes it's difficult. That's my thoughts about this. Okay.
In the mountains, when we get together, it's always Cindy who has to phone Lucian. Wake up, time for breakfast. And I think I can imagine that Lucian is reading news on the bed, getting angry. Okay, now I need to eat.
And I think, Lucien, you kind of almost brought us full circle with your thoughts right now, because in the beginning we were talking about simple truths that are all around us, readily available in the here and the now. And like you mentioned, these things don't really affect your daily life. You're not part of parliament. You're not in the military, perhaps. So what are the simple truths that are right here, right now, all around us? So I think you almost brought us full circle back to our first topic by your interpretation and your thoughts on that topic. I know that our meeting is about over. We have a few minutes left here. Does anyone else want to speak on any of the current events that are listed here, or on any other topic that you would like to bring up? That's that you'd like to bring up during this time.
Yes, I would like to add something to Jen's opinion or observation of the petrol station thing. Yeah. So I also think that people collecting things that they don't really need is kind of crazy, and I think one solution for that is to rebuild the trust system, right? Yeah. So I think the reason is we don't trust other people. For example, if I hear rumors that one bank is going to corrupt, then I put a lot of money there. So the first thing I would do is to withdraw all my money, right? And other people will also do that. Then the bank really go bankrupt. And actually, it's so the main reason is that we don't trust other people. So if I don't go to the petrol station, and I believe that other people who don't really need that will also not go to the petrol station, then the pandemic or the nervous or the anxiety will like go down a little bit. Then the situation can get better. Yeah. But how how do we deliver this idea or to rebuild this trust system is a question or a problem. And I don't know how the idea of Buddhism can help this to regain or to rebuild this trust system. Yes, yeah, just some idea, but it's not it's not really clear to me. Thanks.
I think that's a very good point. It's not really clear to me either, because you bring up such a good point. It's hard for us to even trust the people in our community who we know when we go to the petrol station or to the grocery store. Usually people are shopping in areas that they live near. And so we know that we are directly impacting those that are right around us in our community. And so if we can't even build our trust with those people, it seems almost insurmountable that we're going to trust people from different countries and that this is going to work out, right? And so maybe that's a topic that we can continue to I think that that's a really good thing to think about. And as we continue to read in Buddha's words, and maybe that could be a topic for our next meeting, just that trust and how do we build that with each other, because you're right. I think that is at the root of a lot of these problems. But everyone, this was so great. I thank you all for coming. I mean, I think that this was wonderful to hear different perspectives and to really kind of have a community of thought and discussion. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming.
Okay, thank you. So give me 1 minute. I think some of them purchased the books, but it's on the way to their house. So they haven't had the opportunity to read the first chapter yet. So I think in the future, once they have finished reading the first chapter, they will be more prepared to join our discussion. And I hope that Jen and Quentin can take turns hosting meetings like this. Yeah, if we can meet like once or twice a month, and Jen or Quentin can come up with discussion questions, then it's good for us to exchange opinions, ideas. And yeah, we don't have enough time, so I'm trying to figure out how I can add Buddhist perspectives. Maybe I will try to do that in our chat, and I will include Jen in our group, so everybody can see my responses to these discussion questions. Okay, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Quentin, for hosting this meeting. Yeah. You have a great day. Jen, you have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks, Quentin.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good
to see
you.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.